Okay, so over the last few days, check engine light popped back on. Actually, it popped back on before I left. EGR. Now, you guys know I bought that cheap $100 EGR off Car ID, and I thought everything would be fine. And for a few days, it was fine. But then eventually, the light actually popped back on. I pulled it back into the shop, and this was before my long trip here. The light popped back on, and sure enough, it was EGR, like valve stuck, insufficient flow, and then there were times where it said excessive flow. So that EGR valve that I bought from Car ID is clearly malfunctioning. It's a $99 EGR valve instead of the $200 factory one, or you could go to Rock Auto and get one for like 150 bucks, a factory one, or you can get one from one of the parts stores for 150 bucks. The one I got was a $100 one trying to cut corners from Car ID. It ended up biting me in the butt. A couple days after installing it, even though the light was out, everything cleared and was fine, I was able to get my emissions test and pass that. But a day after the emissions test, the light popped back on again. And luckily, all the monitors cleared for the emissions test, so they didn't flag me. But then it popped back on with the same codes. So this cheap Car ID EGR valve is also malfunctioning. I'm going to have to go with a factory EGR valve. The reason I know it's the EGR valve is not only because of the codes, is I actually pulled over on the side of the road and unplugged it to see if it would change anything. And the valve quit malfunctioning. And how I knew that the EGR valve was malfunctioning without actually checking the codes was when I would drive and I would just put it under like a light load, like 35, 40, 45 mile an hour, just barely hitting the throttle, it would start to spit and sputter and hesitate, almost as if the EGR valve was stuck, and it was letting some of the exhaust gas under real light load recirculate back when it wasn't supposed to. So about 300 miles into my drive on my trip over the last few days, I actually unplugged the EGR valve so the computer would stop trying to control it and it would stop malfunctioning. And what ended up happening is it quit hesitating altogether. It's running like it's brand new with the EGR valve unplugged. So I'm going to have to invest in an actual good factory or a good parts store EGR valve. I'm going to get a factory one and put on it and then retest and see what happens. But the cheap one that's on it is clearly malfunctioning. I checked the EGR recirculation tube from the driver's side manifold all the way up to the EGR just to make sure there were no cracks or anything in it, and there wasn't. You know, I can feel the tube all the way down, and even when I had it in the shop before I left, I checked it because I know those like to crack sometimes. When you go to pull them off, they get rusty and they'll crack. But that wasn't the case. The EGR tube going down to the exhaust manifold on the driver's side, it's really nice still. It's not all rusted and rotted out. So that will be the next project on the town cars, to actually put an OEM EGR valve on this, because it's clearly malfunctioning, and it really came out of nowhere. You know, I had no problems for like 6 months of owning the town car until that check engine light popped on, and under light load it was hesitating. Full wide open throttle, the EGR valve doesn't function, so the computer doesn't try to control it. And under load, you know, different types of load, it doesn't function. But at cruising and idle, it's supposed to function. And I noticed just under real light load, between like 35, 45, 50 mile an hour, I'd get a little sputter hesitant. But as soon as I'd open it wide up and it would stop trying to control that EGR valve, all the problems would go away. So that will be the next project on the town car. I have to push other projects off to get that done because I do want it functioning correctly. It's nice not having the EGR valve plugged in, because I know, you know, any of that, what would you call it, not inert gas, but dead gas or whatever, expent exhaust isn't getting recirculated back into the engine. I don't typically like that anyway. In case you guys don't know, EGR stands for exhaust gas recirculation, and what it does is it takes some of that exhaust that's supposed to be pushed out of the cylinder and it recirculates some of it back into the intake, and that's how they help control some of the emissions. But it's really a shit design, and I wish they would take it off all vehicles, because it doesn't increase performance at all. It's just a programmed aspect of how your vehicle function with air-fuel ratio based on EGR flow when it's time for it to actuate. I hate it. It doesn't help you at all. Actually, it decreases performance in a lot of the aspect of how the functionality of the vehicle performing overall. And I wish the government would have never made that like a mandatory thing on vehicles, OBD2 and beyond, which I think that's the next start is 96 and beyond. Before that was OBD1, and I don't know. And they even ran EGR stuff on earlier vehicles as well, but I just don't find. I do not find that it's beneficial to the vehicle at all. And just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys on a new problem, or an old problem but new problem I'm going to have to address with the town car. Like right now, it's unplugged and I'm driving. Kind of get a little bit of a long drive, and it's functioning completely fine. But if I plug it back in, when I go to go slow speeds under light load, it'll start malfunctioning again. So definitely a waste of $100. I'm afraid if I get a hold of Car ID and I ask for another cheap one, the same thing's going to happen. So I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy an OEM one. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Have you guys ever dealt with something like this? Let me know.